You didn't find this video by accident. Life doesn't operate on chance. It operates on cause and effect. You clicked here because something inside you is ready. Ready for change, ready for growth, ready to take the first step toward becoming the person you were meant to be. Every great journey starts with a whisper, a quiet voice that says, "You're made for more." That whisper brought you here. Not by luck, not by mistake, but by design. You've been searching for answers, maybe without even realizing it. You've been craving progress, direction, clarity, and now it's staring you in the face. Let me tell you something you already know deep down. You have power in you that you've barely tapped into. You've felt it, haven't you? That pull towards something bigger than the life you've been living. And maybe fear held you back, maybe comfort trapped you. Maybe the world told you to settle, but not anymore. Right now you are standing at a crossroad. One path leads back to where you've always been. The other, forward, into the unknown, into the version of you that's limitless. There are no accidents in this life. What you call coincidence is often the quiet hand of destiny, guiding you toward the very thing your soul needs. The fact that you're watching this video at this exact moment in the middle of your unique life story is no accident. You didn't just stumble upon this by chance. You were led here, not by an external force alone, but by the invisible current of your own desire, your own inner call to grow. The timing of this moment is precise. It's not too early, not too late. It's right on time. When you look back on the major turning points of your life, you'll notice something interesting. They often didn't feel big in the moment. They came quietly. A conversation, a book, a decision, a late night thought, and sometimes a video. What you're watching now may be one of those small, quiet pivots that changes everything. You were meant to find this video because something in your life is ready to shift. Maybe it's your mindset. Maybe it's your courage. Maybe it's your belief in what's possible. Whatever it is, it has called this moment into existence. You asked, maybe not with your words, but with your thoughts, your emotions, your energy, and life answered. You see, the universe is constantly responding to what you believe and feel. If you've been feeling stuck, lost, or just aware that something inside you is ready for more, then this is part of the response. It's not just a motivational message. It's a mirror, a reminder, a signal. You might not have known what you were looking for, but your subconscious did. Your deeper self knew it needed a spark, a push, a sign to wake it up and say, "This is your moment." The most successful people in history all had moments when something awakened in them. It wasn't always loud, it wasn't always dramatic, but it was always undeniable. And it often came when they were searching, consciously or not, for something more meaningful, more powerful, more aligned with who they were meant to be. You are no different. There is a reason you kept watching this instead of scrolling past. The reason this message is resonating with you on a deeper level than you expected. That reason is you, your potential, your purpose, your future. There is a power within you that wants to be unlocked. And sometimes it takes a certain message at a certain time to turn the key. This video didn't find you, you found it. Because you're ready. Ready to think differently. Ready to stop settling, ready to reconnect with your ambition, your courage, your vision. There's no need to overanalyze it. The most powerful moments in life don't always come with explanation. They just feel right. They stir something inside you. They make you sit up straighter, breathe deeper, and think harder about the direction of your life. You were meant to find this video because your journey isn't over. It's just beginning. Whatever brought you here, pain, curiosity, ambition, or even boredom, has served its purpose. It got you to this moment, and this moment holds power. The kind of power that can reroute the trajectory of a life. And while the world may not notice the shift immediately, you will. Because from this moment forward, something has changed. Something has clicked. The spark has been lit. All that remains now is what you choose to do with it. Desire is the starting point of all achievements. Before anything is built, before any goal is reached, before any success is celebrated, there is desire. It is the silent force that moves mountains, the unseen energy that pushes people beyond limits, and the fire that burns quietly in the hearts of those who refuse to accept an average life. The reason you're watching this video is because that fire has been burning in you, even if it's been dimmed by distractions, fear, or the noise of everyday life. You wouldn't be here if you didn't want something. Maybe it's more peace. Maybe it's more focus. Maybe it's a breakthrough. But make no mistake, desire brought you here. There are people who float through life, drifting wherever the wind blows, waiting for something to happen. But the ones who create change, the ones who build lives of meaning and impact, they all begin with a deep burning desire. It's not a wish. It's not a fleeting thought. It's a decision, a demand, an internal command that says, I must have this. I must become more. I must break through. That kind of desire doesn't wait for permission. It doesn't ask the world if it's possible. It simply begins to move forward step by step until reality bends to match the vision. You found this video because that level of desire already exists within you. You may not have given it a name. You may not have shouted it to the world, but it's there. The restlessness you feel sometimes, that's desire knocking. The dreams that keep coming back no matter how long you've ignored them, that's desire speaking. The frustration that comes when you know you're capable of more, that's desire reminding you of who you really are. And that force is not here to torment you, it's here to wake you up. When people lose hope, it's not because they've failed, it's because they've forgotten what they wanted in the first place. They've dulled their desire with excuses, with doubt, with years of living in a way that doesn't challenge them. But the fact that you're still searching, still learning, still willing to absorb new ideas tells me that your desire is still alive. And the beautiful thing about desire is that it doesn't care how many mistakes you've made. It doesn't care how long you've been stuck. It only cares that you're willing to move again, that you're willing to remember what it is you came here to do. There is no success without a definite desire to succeed. Not a hope, not a maybe, but a hunger so real it refuses to die. That's what separates those who try from those who achieve. And right now that hunger in you is being stirred. You can feel it. A part of you is waking up. A part of you is ready to stop wishing and start building. Because deep down you know that desire alone isn't enough. It's the beginning, not the end. It's the fuel, not the finish line. But without it, nothing starts. Without it, potential stays locked away. And with it, even the impossible begins to bend. You were meant to find this video because your desire is demanding more from you. It's asking you to rise, to focus, to stop pretending you don't care when you do. The truth is, you want something. Maybe freedom, maybe purpose, maybe peace, maybe all of it. But that want is sacred. That want is your compass. Follow it, feed it. Let it grow stronger than your fears, because once desire becomes dominant in your mind, the world has no choice but to shift. Not immediately, not magically. Thoughts become things. It may sound simple, but it's one of the most powerful truths you will ever learn. Everything you see around you, everything that has ever been created, built, invented, or achieved began as a thought. Every success story started in someone's mind long before it ever existed in the real world. And right now, whether you realize it or not, your life is a reflection of the thoughts you've allowed to dominate your mind. The habits you've formed, the decisions you've made, the emotions you carry, they all come from patterns of thinking that have repeated over time and shaped your reality. You didn't find this video randomly. You were drawn to it, magnetized by your own thoughts, your own desire for clarity, motivation, growth, or transformation. Even if your conscious mind wasn't searching, your deeper self was. The truth is, we are all broadcasting thoughts into the world every moment of every day. And life responds to those thoughts with people, opportunities, challenges, and experiences that match the energy we send out. If your thoughts are focused on fear, you'll notice more reasons to be afraid. If they're centered on potential, you'll begin to see doors where others only see walls. This isn't just positive thinking or wishful dreaming. It's cause and effect. Your dominant thoughts shape your beliefs, and your beliefs dictate your actions. Over time, those actions become your results. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. And what you are is defined by the thoughts you nurture most often. So if your life has felt out of alignment, if you've been frustrated or stuck or unfulfilled, the first place to look isn't your circumstances, it's your mind. This video serves as a reminder that your mind is not just a place where thoughts come and go. It's a workshop. It's a laboratory. It's the ground where the seeds of your future are planted. And right now, you are either planting seeds of progress or seeds of procrastination, seeds of courage or seeds of doubt, seeds of power or seeds of limitation. The incredible thing is that you have the ability to choose. You may not control every event in your life, but you absolutely control how you think about those events. And that choice is where your power lies. Most people never stop to truly examine their thoughts. They live on autopilot, repeating the same mental loops, reacting the same way, expecting different outcomes. But the moment you become aware of your thoughts, you begin to take control. You stop reacting and start creating. You stop following and start leading your own mind. And when you do that consistently, everything around you begins to shift, slowly at first, subtly, but undeniably, because life has no choice but to reflect the dominant patterns of your mind. The reason you're here is because your thoughts brought you here, not just the surface level ones, but the ones buried beneath your daily routine. The thoughts that whisper late at night, reminding you that there's more. The thoughts that question the limits you've accepted. The thoughts that won't let you settle. Those thoughts are powerful. They're not here to torment you. They're here to guide you, to awaken you, to push you toward the life you were meant to live. If you take nothing else from this moment, remember this. Your thoughts are not just ideas. They are instructions to your future. Speak power into them. Feed them with intention. Guard them with discipline. Because in time, what you continue to think, you will eventually live. This video is not just something you watched. It's something you created by the energy of your own mind. And now that you're aware of that, the real question is, what will you choose to think next? The seed of opportunity lies in every moment. Not just in the big moments that are easy to recognize, but in the quiet ones, the overlooked ones, the ones that feel ordinary. You may think this is just another video, just another few minutes of inspiration, but what if it's not? What if this very moment is the beginning of something far bigger than you can imagine? What if the thought you're having right now, the feeling stirring inside you, is the early sign of a new chapter trying to unfold? Opportunity rarely shows up with flashing lights. It shows up in whispers, in gut feelings, in the quiet realization that something needs to change. You see, most people are trained to look for opportunity in the distance. They think it's out there, somewhere far away, in a promotion, a lucky break, a new environment, a better time. But real opportunity doesn't live in the future. It lives in the now. It lives in your awareness. It lives in your decision to pay attention to what life is offering you in this very second. Every moment is a seed. And that seed, if recognized and nurtured, can grow into something powerful. The problem is, most people ignore the seed. They look at it, doubt it, and walk away. But you're not most people. You're here, and that means something inside you is ready to stop walking past potential and start planting it. Maybe you've been waiting for a sign. Maybe you've been asking for guidance, direction, confirmation, and maybe, just maybe, this is it. This is the sign. This is the moment. Not because the video has all the answers, but because it triggered something within you, something that already knew the truth, that you are capable of more, that you've been playing it small, that you've been carrying around dreams that deserve more than just a passing thought. Those dreams need action. They need belief. They need a commitment from you to stop waiting and start becoming. There's a quiet truth that very few people talk about. Opportunities don't come with guarantees. They don't come with certainty or comfort. They come with a question. Are you ready? And most of the time, that question shows up when you least expect it. In the middle of chaos, in the middle of fear, in the middle of the unknown. But that's what makes it powerful. Opportunity forces you to grow before you feel ready. It invites you to say yes before you have all the answers. Because the truth is, no one ever feels completely ready. Growth is not about being prepared, it's about being willing. The seed you're being handed right now is not meant to stay in your pocket. It's meant to be planted, nurtured, acted on. It may not look like much. It may not feel life-changing right now. But don't judge a seed by its size. Judge it by the possibility it carries. Judge it by the person it requires you to become in order to make it grow. That's the real gift of opportunity. It's not just about what you get, it's about who you become along the way. Every great success story started with a seed moment, a moment that didn't look like much on the surface, but had the potential to transform everything if it was met with courage and action. This moment is no different. It's asking something of you. It's offering you something too, but only you can decide what happens next. Will you let this seed fall to the ground and disappear, or will you recognize it for what it is, a quiet, powerful opportunity wrapped in the ordinary, waiting for you to say, yes, this is where it starts. Because sometimes the smallest shift in perspective can lead to the biggest shift in your life. And sometimes the seed of greatness is hidden in the most unexpected place, like right here, right now. Your mind is the master key. It opens every door, shapes every decision, controls every direction your life will take. Before anything exists in your world, before the success, before the breakthroughs, before the changes, it has to exist in your mind. If you see yourself as limited, you'll live a limited life. If you see yourself as powerful, possibilities begin to reveal themselves. The way you think isn't just influencing your life, it's creating it. And right now, at this very moment, the thoughts you entertain, the beliefs you allow, the stories you repeat to yourself are either unlocking your potential or locking it away. There is a version of you that already exists within your imagination, a version that is strong, focused, confident, disciplined, and resilient. You may have seen glimpses of this person, moments when you surprised yourself, rose above your own doubts, or pushed beyond what you thought was possible. That version of you isn't fiction. It's not a fantasy. It's real. But it can only come to life when you hand it the key, your mind. The challenge is that most people have given the key to fear, to past mistakes, to the opinions of others, or to limiting beliefs that have been playing in the background for years. They walk through life believing they are stuck, not realizing the lock was in their mind all along, and the key was always in their hands. The truth is, you become what you consistently think about. If you constantly think you're not ready, not good enough, not worthy, then no amount of opportunity will help you, because your own mind will sabotage the moment it arrives. But if you train your mind to believe that growth is always possible, that progress is within reach, that your past does not define your future, then everything begins to shift. Your actions change, your energy changes, the way the world responds to you begins to change, not because the world is different, but because you are different. There's no external force holding you back more than the thoughts you've accepted as truth. But here's the powerful part. You can choose to reprogram those thoughts. You can start now. You can begin to speak differently to yourself. You can decide that from this moment on, your mind is no longer a prison. It's a tool, a force, a vehicle for creating the kind of life you truly want to live. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to take back control of your mind, one thought at a time. That's what separates those who rise from those who stay stuck. The ones who rise don't have easier lives. They just learn to master their minds. They refuse to surrender to fear. They challenge every belief that holds them back. They feed their minds with clarity, vision, purpose, and they do it daily, not just when they feel motivated, because they understand this one simple truth. If you control the mind, you control the life. You are not here to be average. You're not here to follow the crowd or repeat the same cycle over and over. You're here to lead your life, to unlock what's been trapped inside you by doubt and fear. And the master key is your mind. Every time you shift your thoughts, you shift your path. Every time you choose belief over doubt, discipline over comfort, vision over excuses, you turn the key. You open new doors, and you move closer to the life that's waiting for you on the other side of who you think you are. That's where everything begins, not in the world outside of you, but in the mind within. Every great change begins with a decision. Not the kind of decision people talk about casually, the kind that's made in silence, in solitude, in moments when no one is watching. It's the decision to take responsibility for your life, to stop waiting for things to change, and instead become the force that creates the change. That's why you're here right now, not by accident, not by chance. You were pulled to this message because deep down, a part of you is ready to decide, ready to draw a line in the sand and say, I won't keep living the same way. I'm ready for more. There comes a time in every person's life when they realize no one is coming to save them. No one is going to hand them the dream. No one is going to push them across the finish line. And it's in that moment that something powerful awakens. A realization that if life is going to change, you must change it. You must make the decision to rise, to do the inner work, to take ownership of everything, even the things you didn't choose. Because only then do you gain the power to change your future. Ownership is where your real strength begins. Most people delay that decision. They wait for the right moment, the right feeling, the right circumstance. But there is no perfect time. There is only now. And now is more than enough. Right now you can make a decision that shifts the course of your life forever. Not because it solves everything in an instant, but because it changes you. And when you change, that's the power of a real decision. It transforms the person who makes it. People confuse wanting change with deciding to change. Everyone wants a better life. Everyone wants peace, success, happiness, fulfillment. But few actually decide to pursue it with everything they have. Because that kind of decision comes with cost. It demands sacrifice. It requires letting go of excuses, comfort, distractions, and sometimes even people who keep you tied to an old version of yourself. But if you're honest with yourself, you know that no price is too high to pay for the life you were meant to live. A true decision doesn't fade after a few hours. It doesn't disappear when things get tough. It becomes a new standard, a new identity. It becomes the line you no longer cross. You don't go back to old habits. You don't entertain old doubts. You don't play small just to make others comfortable. You decide, and then you move, you act, you build momentum, and step by step, that decision becomes your new reality. You may not see all the steps ahead right now. You may not know exactly what the journey will look like. That's okay. You don't need all the answers to begin. You just need to decide that you're done living below your potential, that you're done carrying the weight of regret, hesitation, and fear, that you're ready to meet the future with open eyes and full responsibility, That's when things start to shift. That's when clarity comes. That's when opportunities begin to show up, because you finally made room for them. And even if no one else understands it, even if the world keeps spinning the same way around you, you will be different. You will know that a new chapter began when you stopped waiting for change and decided to become the change. That's not just motivation, that's transformation. And it starts the moment you stop hoping and start deciding. So now, as you stand at the edge of this message, understand this. You didn't just find this video, you were meant to. Everything you heard, everything that stirred something inside you was a reflection of the power you already carry. The desire that brought you here is real. The thoughts you think are shaping your life. The opportunities you've overlooked are waiting to be claimed. Your mind holds the master key, and all it takes is one true decision, your decision to turn it. This isn't about hype. This is about truth. The truth that your life is not limited by your circumstances, but by your willingness to rise above them. The truth that you were not born to merely exist, but to lead, to build, to impact, to become. And that journey begins now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, but now. With a single moment of clarity, courage, and commitment, you were meant to find this video because something inside you is ready to stop surviving and start living. So go forward, decide, think intentionally, move boldly, and never forget this moment isn't the end. It's the beginning of everything you were always meant to be.